What's up, everybody? Grey Knight Dude here. We are starting a new thing on the channel. We're going into Death Guard. I started this channel because I was getting back into 40k 9th edition, and Grey Knights are my main faction. I had Chaos about 10 years ago when I really first started, and Death Guard was my favorite faction, like in the Chaos scene. It was Grey Knights for the good guys, and then Death Guard for the essentially bad guys. So getting back into it, running 5 Dread Knights every single game, winning tournaments, stuff like that, I wanted to kind of try something else with Death Guard. And Typhus is probably my favorite HQ. I've still the old school metal Typhus, like the little guy. And we had a RTT this weekend at my main store, Alternate Universes, and I placed first. So I was like, holy shit, it actually could work. Now, it was a smaller tournament. COVID kind of like threw a wrench into the mix. We usually have 14 to 16 players come to the tournaments. Yesterday we had 8. A lot of people canceled at the last minute. They all got COVID. I tested negative 3 times that week just to make sure that, I was going into it safe. So hopefully all you guys are staying safe out there. But we got 3 good games in yesterday with Death Guard. It was probably my 3rd time playing the army with the new codex. The entire week I was just reading through it. There was only 8 people, so I was like, screw it, I'm not running Grey Knights. We're going to run a fun list. And we ran Terminus EST. Typhus EST. Terminus EST? Is it Terminus? I'm still new to it. So if I mess up any pronunciations or details about Death Guard, I apologize. Hopefully this brings in more people to the channel because we want to get this up, above 1,000, so that way we can stream live on the go to tournaments, GTs, wherever we're going into. So if you guys are here for the Grey Knights, I appreciate the support. We're trying to bring in Death Guard people as well. So it's going to be Grey Knights and Death Guard. Those are going to be my 2 armies. Not sure I'm going to start another army, but I said that when I was doing Grey Knights. Who the hell knows? Might go into Custodes, whatever the hell it is. So we're going to go over, like all my other tournament wrap-ups, we're going to go over the list that I used. I didn't take any pictures because I didn't think I was actually going to do this, but I won. I actually was going to go into yesterday thinking I was going to lose 2 out of 3. Just for fun. I just wanted to get 3 games in, but we pulled it off, and I'll tell you how. We're going to go over the list. We're going to go over the scenarios. We're going to go over the players, like the people that I played, and we're going to go over what I learned, what I would change, and what I really liked about the list. All right, so let's go over the list. So it was Harbingers was the plague company. I guess that's more of like our brotherhood. So like you get to pick different plague companies. We did a Terminus EST assault force, which is basically like Typhus and zombies. No vehicles, so it's kind of newer. There's a bunch of new strats, a bunch of new relics that you can bring. We brought 2 additional relics. Now, what I learned about Death Guard is they have so many good relics. You want to bring like 7 of them every single time you play, because the troops, like the Terminators, can actually bring really good relics, like the Skull and the Reaper and all this shit. So we couldn't do that. We could only bring 2 extra. So we brought non-force org. We got the Biologus Putrefier, who is insane. Arch Contaminator, he does the reroll wounds within 6 inches. I gave him the Fergaris Helm, which is basically he gets an extra 3 inch for his aura. So 9 inches away, he's able to have a core unit reroll wound rules. So basically when you have your Reaper dudes come in and just scythe everybody, they reroll all their wounds. He can give them core unit with a 9, reroll, or at the start of the phase, you choose somebody, then they charge in, and then they get to reroll or mortal wounds on 6s. So basically you're re-rolling all the wound rolls, and on 6s you're just fishing for 6s. They get a shit ton of attacks for 3 guys, mortal wounds. So that combo is insane. You basically just have them near your Terminator units who are bodyguard like the entire part of the game. He also gives blight grenades, -1 and 2 damage. So anybody that has a blight grenade, you can basically throw it and have a better blight grenade. Also, there's a strat, which I didn't use, I read about it yesterday, where you get to pick 3 units on the table, and their blight grenades basically turn into pistol D6 or something, pistol 6 or whatever, and it automatically hits in combat. They lose the blast keyword, so basically you can throw it in combat, and if they're all 2 damage, Typhus then could literally just drop it at his feet and just kill a bunch of dudes with 2 wounds. So I'm going to try that out next time. It's only 1 CP. Tallyman, we took off his relic thing because we don't need it in this list. It basically lets you get exploding 6s on shots. We don't really have a lot of shots. The sprays that we have auto hit, and the bolters don't really care about that. So I took the relic off the Tallyman. Tallyman is amazing for Death Guard. Then we have HQs, so we have Malignant Plaguecaster, and Typhus. I tried the Demon Prince. I didn't really like it in this list. I'd rather have more psychic powers and just kind of keep them back to just keep buffing up the army. So Lungrot, Rotwind. Actually, let me get the powers. All right, so if you're newer or you kind of like don't remember anything, like I wrote down this list. Literally, it's going over each character that I have, like the elites, everybody, and I put spells, so you literally just write it out, so you don't have to flip through the book, because with so many bodies, you don't want to waste time. So I'm gonna go down the list. We have the Lungrot, which is cannot advance or charge. That didn't really come up too much. Like usually we're like right next to each other either way, so I'm not like, it's such a good move, but I don't know how I feel about it. The next one though, Rotwind, is very, 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 very funny and good at the same time. So basically, units attacks reduce AP2. So if they have an AP2 weapon on shooting or melee, it goes down to AP0. If they have 3, it goes down to AP1 on all their attacks, which is so good. I gave this Plaguecaster the extra 6-inch for psychic powers. So the filth sensors, so he's able to cast 24 inches away, which is super far. So basically you threaten 29 inches. Because he can move and then cast this, so that's really good. Every time he gets a 7-up cast, everybody within 12 inches or the closest visible enemy unit within 12 takes a mortal wound, so 2, potentially 2 mortal wounds right there. The next Plaguecaster has Gift of Contagion, which is good. Subtract 1 from the strength on a 5, and on an 8+, subtract 1 strength and attack. So also you're just kind of debuffing the enemy team that's running at you. And then next one is add +1 strength and toughness to a unit. So you're adding it to the Death Guard unit or the zombies. So basically they're getting they're going up to 4 strength without Typhus near them. If Typhus is near them, you go up to strength 6, 5, which is insane. But you add an extra toughness, so another toughness 5 zombies. A lot harder to kill with toughness 5 zombies. The Tallyman, we already went over. Foul Blightspawn. These are the troops. Let's go to the elites. So now we'll go over the troops. So all Poxwalkers. You're able to bring in 1 unit of Poxwalkers per Blight elite that you bring in. So we got 5 of those, so 5 units of Poxwalkers. 20, 40, 60, 80, 94 Poxwalkers. They all have just basic stuff. Elites, we have Blightlord Terminators. This one we brought, they both have the same stuff. So they both have the flail, they both have Blight launchers, and they both have Combi Meltas. I love Combi Meltas when they deep strike. The paladin that I use in Grey Knights like made me love Combi Meltas. This one had the Plague Skull of Glothila, which is a very good relic. I only used it once because I forgot about it the entire day. But the last game, I think I used it. Honestly, I don't know. One of the games I used it. But it's just an awesome relic that you can put on one of your Terminators. Then this one, we have 3 Deshral Terminators. One has a 4-man unit, the other are 3-man units. We added the extra Plague Spurt Gauntlet on each of the champions. And this champion, we tried out the Reaper of Glorious Entropy, which does hits on 2s, -3, 3 damage, and 6s do mortal wounds. My thing here was, I was going to put him next to the one Biologist Putrefier and give them 2 mortal wounds on 6s to wound, rerolling all wounds. So that was my intent. Didn't really come up because I kept deep striking too far away. Next time I'm going to put him on the table and keep him near that guy, so that way at least I get to try it out. So that's that. Yeah, Chimes of Contagion. Did I put the Chimes of Contagion? Which Chimes? Oh, Chimes of Contagion, I guess, is the... I don't even know what the hell Chimes of Contagion is. I put something on them that's Chimes of Contagion. Somebody let me know what the hell that is. I forget what it is. I'll look it up. It's on my phone. But it might be the 15-point Chimes of Contagion that gives me the extra 3 inches for contagion range. That's probably what it is. Which, again, didn't really come up, so I should probably take that off. Foul Blightspawn. He has the Revolting Stench Vats, obviously, and Vicious Death, which lets you reroll the spray, which came up every single time. And that's literally the list. Like it's such a basic, no vehicle, fun list. So yeah, so that was the list. So let's get into this picture. All right, cool. So I actually made a report on my phone last night, so just so I didn't forget anything. Game one was the setup. This is for every single table. Every table looks the same. We have force. Now we play super force at this thing where you get it's dense cover and you get the +1 to save. So on all the forests you get +1 save and dense cover. So it's very hard to kill people in the forest. So you do get the -2 to move, but you also get a benefit for being in it. So my zombies kind of liked it. So basically this was the priority targets. So priority targets is you get to move these objective markers 6 inches. So each of you get to take turns moving them. So I moved this one out and I moved this one this way, and he moved his back a little bit and moved mine down a little bit. So that's how we moved everything. So I kind of wanted all the objectives as close as possible. I took the plague thing where it's our secondary, where you get the objectives if you cleanse it with your plague stuff. Engage in all fronts, because in this setup you're basically starting almost already in 3 table quarters. And the main secondary, if you control this back objective you get 3 points. It's almost like a main secondary, and then if you control that I believe you get 5 points. But I made the mistake of thinking that we were playing the one with the 9-inch bubble, where if you control the center you get 3 points. So literally the entire game I was trying to control the center so much, which I didn't really need to. I just needed to kind of throw one zombie out there. So I controlled the center the entire time. So that was bad. But this is what I set up. I set up all the zombies. Zombies. So basically 5 units of zombies. All of the people in the middle are all my characters, and I put bodyguard unit right back here. So he had no line of sight blocking, ignoring shots, which is one of the most annoying things in this game. So I was able to put the bodyguards pretty safely. Couldn't shoot any of my characters because of the bodyguard rule, which is broken, by the way. And then I just kind of wanted to throw my zombies out there. Now every single game, if you're playing Terminus, I would highly suggest deep striking your Terminator units. Now, even if they have blocking the entire side of the board, you don't have to bring them in if you don't need to. But if you do, at least they're further up the table and potentially could get an assault off on turn 2. If you wait till if you put them on the table, they're going to get shot at. Not going to be enough room to hide them, and they're going to slug across the table, which they just die. So that's kind of what I found at the first mission or the first game I played this was, first it took me like 3 hours, just my turns, because I didn't know any of the rules. And then next is all the Terminators died, especially the bodyguard Terminators, which are super expensive. So deep strike them. Deep strike literally all the Terminators you have. And that's my tip of the day. I had turn 2. Yeah, I had turn 2, he had turn 1. He basically teleported this big beast tentacle dude across the table. He had the little sniper dudes over here. He had a couple units of these rubric marines. He had a whole 10-man Terminator blob, a demon prince, this dude on the disc, and then 2 more rubric marines over here, and another 5-man Terminator. So that was basically his list. And he had a Terminator sorcerer, I believe, as well. So that was his list, and he was able to control this objective, shot all these poxwalkers off the table. These 3 guys only had 1 shot each, so they killed like 3 of these guys. So didn't really have a lot of shooting. He couldn't shoot anybody in the building with his Terminators. So on my turn, I basically walked out, cleansed this middle objective because I probably wasn't going to get another chance to do it. I cleansed, I had this secondary, I had that secondary, and then engaged in all fronts. I didn't have this zone, so I literally didn't get any engaged in all fronts at all the first turn because I couldn't get across the table. Now next turn I was able to engage all 3 because I brought 30 of these or 20 of these guys back with 3 CP with the zombies. So they literally just walked on my table edge, and then they were able to charge over here and get in this quarter. So I got this quarter, this quarter, this quarter, and my zombies up here literally just ran to get in this corner. So basically I had 1, 2, 3, 4 corners with engaged on fronts. Turn 1 though, he actually charged. He didn't take the best secondaries. Deep struck all my Terminators, end of turn 2. Moved the Terminators out of the building. I charged with all my zombies and just like engulfed the Terminators. Because we have the strat where they get an extra 3-inch movement and can pile in 6 inches, which they get so far up the table. These zombies are super, super fast. His psychic phase literally went like 30 minutes every single time. 1,000 stuns just have so many psychic powers. And I feel like being on the other end of it, it was like I now know what people against Grey Knights feel. Like, you literally are just sitting there not doing anything as he's buffing up all his units. Like it was crazy. So we only actually lasted until top of 3. We were able to finish the turn 3, but we talked out the last 2 turns. And by turn 3, he had so top of turn 3, going into bottom turn 3, I had my Termi unit here, Termi unit here, Termi unit here, Termi unit here, and a Termi unit here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I had all 5 Terminator units all down here, and he had his 10-man blob right here. So basically, I was saying I was probably going to charge. They were stuck in combat with these 5 rubrics back here, and then these 2 Termies were going to kill here. So hopefully, all my characters walked out, killed this 10-man Terminator unit, then advanced or consolidated this way, and then his turn, he probably wouldn't have killed 20 Terminators. So then my turn, I would have walked through, killed whatever was left over here, finish off what was left down here, and then we basically would have killed everything on the table by turn 5. So that's kind of what we talked it out to be, which was insane. So what had happened at the end, we finished off with 80 points. Zombies killed this thing, bottom of 1, because he actually teleported it to here. He got its charge off and finished off the zombies down here, and then consolidated here. So basically these 20 zombies walked out, surrounded it, and used one strat to reroll hit rolls, and did one strat to 6s on hits do mortal wounds. So basically I was just fishing for mortal wounds. I think I did like 9 mortal wounds, and the rest just killed it with sprays and blight grenades, and I charged with a 3-man bodyguard unit. So my other 3-man were kind of just chilling out here. He left 1 bodyguard, which I literally just put back into the building so he couldn't see it anymore, and it protected all my characters outside the building. So by the end of the game, all the characters were outside. My 1 bodyguard, that's why it's so broken, was inside the building, couldn't see it, so they couldn't target any of my characters. That's what's so crazy about bodyguard. So that was the first game. Good, fun player. He knew a lot about his book. Crazy list. I'd never seen this list before, but I'd never seen that thing, the hentai tentacle monster dude. Dude was huge, ginormous monster, but doesn't really do anything to zombies. Game 2 was against Nolan, the local favorite. So he played his huge Tyranid list, which is the new one that just came out. I forget what it's called, but it's all huge Tyranids. They get -1 damage. They have crazy strats where if they charge in, they roll like 6 dice, and they roll the amount of wounds they have left, and on like a 3-up or something, it's mortal wounds. It's stupid. So basically he just assassinates characters because he charges into a character, does it before anything happens, and then the character just dies. So that is insane. So I basically try to block my characters every single time with my zombies. So game 2, it was against Tyranids, the Scouring. Who the hell plays the Scouring? So that was a blocked mission that we had with Craig. Craig wasn't there, so we rolled off randomly, and we got the Scouring. We didn't re-roll it. We're like, fuck it, we're just playing Scouring. Scouring is the one where you set up long ways. It's 5. It's 5. It's 1 in center. 1, 2, 3, 4, pretty close together, and then you set up this little square box or rectangle box on your side. So you set up here and here. His list, he had Hive Guard unit, a Tyranid with Hive dude, the main guy, the HQ. He had a Swarm Lord, and the HQ that he had like -4 damage, like shit ton of attacks, insane Hive Guard, and the Swarm Lord. So then he had 1, 2, 3 big bugs that had the sprays. I think it was like 2d6 sprays. And then he had the 1 tentacle dude, which like does a crap ton of attacks. Another big guy. And then he had a harpy. So he brought a harpy, which just flies over. And if he flies over somebody, he could like drop a bomb and do mortal wounds. But that thing also can charge into something and do mortal wounds. So it's like a literally assassination piece. And then he had 3 units of 3 warriors, kind of like as their troops. So that was list, just a shit ton of bugs, super tanky, super hard to kill. We were just fighting over the center of the objective. I took, on that one, I believe I took Bring It Down, obviously, Stranglehold, and Purge. So or did I take 2 to the last? I might have taken 2 to the last on that one. Yeah, probably took 2 last because there was only 5 objectives and 2 of them were on his side. So I might have taken 2 last, I forget. But what I did, here's the battle report. Moved up, so I had turn 1. I moved up, I started everybody in the thing. So again, all the Terminators were deep striking. I had a 3-man bodyguard unit back here because he had the hive guard on the other side. So he literally was just aiming at the bodyguard so that way you can kill all my characters. So that's what sucks about the hive guards. Like I need line of sight blocking, like your bodyguard is just gonna die. So I deep struck all the Terminators, left 1 unit bodyguard on the table, but during his phase, we had to spend 4 CP to put the cloud of flies on the bodyguard unit so they couldn't be targeted. That was clutch, but so freaking expensive. Like I literally had 0 CP by the top of 2. But it saved me my 3 bodyguard units, so my characters couldn't get shot. And oh no, they could get shot, but I had zombies around, so they couldn't get shot anyway. So he basically killed a whole unit of zombies on turn 1 through the building, and I spent 2 CP to run all of my poxwalkers out, so that way we were able to get stranglehold. So we got the center objective, we got the 2 objectives over here, and we kind of just waited. So I got stranglehold. I controlled, I had 2 to the last, and then bring it down, and it just took a long time to finally bring it down to max out. But spent some 4 CP, 3 bodyguard lived, moved up. He moved up the harpy in the middle of the table, and also his melee beast in the middle of the table. So pretend this is the center objective. He had the melee beast here, the harpy like right here. So on my turn 2, I just surrounded the harpy, brought my bodyguard units out, and what had happened was I just basically shot and threw blight grenades at the harpy, did a bunch of wounds, mortal wounds with psychic powers, and I think we finished it off before the charge phase. Charge phase, we charged everything into the big melee dude. We used the strategy gems again, which is the reroll hits and the mortal wounds. We did a shit ton of mortal wounds, and we actually killed it. And then he used 2 CP strat to swing back on Fight on Death, which then he killed literally the entire unit of poxwalkers. It was insane. I think I killed 5 or 6 myself because of the ones, but then he just finished them off with his beast. So I killed the harpy and the big beast, and then we still had zombies on this objective. We had a bunch of zombies on this objective. So basically we had stranglehold again. We killed 2 beasts for bring it down. And his turn, he moved up all the spray guys. So we had 2 more spray guys, 1 spray guy up here. He did a couple wounds on the zombies, but I had my Terminators down at this point. So turn 2, I had a 5-man Terminator unit come in his back thing, charge the warriors. A 5-man Terminator unit over here, charge his warrior unit over here, consolidated into his hive guard, which I think was the turning point. And then another 5-man Terminator blob over here, which didn't get the charge off. So we had his warriors, hive tyrant, swarm lord left over here, 1 big bug of spray guy over here, 2 spray guys over here, and then the hive guard. So by the end of the game, we had 2 big bugs over here, just kind of stuck in combat with a little bit of zombies and Terminators. We had this objective was cleared. I just had 2 Terminators left sitting on it. We had his big brain bug. I forgot he has that in the list as well. Was over here with 5 Terminators and his hive guard. So hive guard, 5 Terminators, and his brain bug were living on the table, and everything else was dead. He tried to get his hive guard over here to kill. He took assassinate, so he tried to kill Typhus, which he had a smite on Typhus because Typhus was attacking him in melee, and he succeeded on a 5, but then I stopped it, and that kind of would have done it with Typhus, and then he would have got 3 control points or 3 points for killing Typhus for assassinate. So he lived. It literally was just all about killing key pieces, which the Swarm Lord, his hive guard, or tying up the hive guard, and killing the other HQ. Killing those pieces and getting the deep strike on the warriors, he had no more OPSEC units, was just clutch in this game. So by the end of turn 3, it was basically the turning point. It was over at that point. We basically talked it out the rest of the match. He failed to kill Smite with Typhus, and I got maxed out on Stranglehold because I got it on turn 1. Bring it down, I think we maxed out because we killed almost all the beasts. And then I had my 3 units left at the end of the game, which was the to the west. So that was cool. Game 3. So game 3 was against Marcus, another very, very good player. He runs Sisters of Battle, and he like knows them on the back of his hand. My first actually, it was like probably my second game back in the 9th edition. I played Marcus at another store, and he taught me like so much about it. So I learned a lot the first time we played. And then he's actually on my team event. So it's funny because I beat Nolan and Marcus, who were both on my team for the 3v3 event coming up. So no shots, but pretty funny that we all play each other. We played Battle Lines. Battle Lines, I took Vital Ground, Stranglehold again into the last. So Vital Ground is the one where it's another sideways deployment. It's 4 objectives, so I couldn't really take the Purge because there's only 4 objectives. But I needed to do Stranglehold because if I can control these 2 and my back one, that's 3 points right there. And I still have a shit ton of zombies. So in his list, he has two units of 3 Melta chicks with the maces. He has the flying chick that gets back up. He has the 1 character that has a fight last ability, 2 6-man units of the shield chicks with the bodyguard rule, 3 units of 5 sisters, 1 unit of 5 chicks with storm bolters, which are damage 2, and he had, who else? What was the other HQ? Oh, and obviously the main HQ chick for sisters, like the big chick in the mech suit. So that was his list. It probably would have been really good into my Grey Knight list because of how much Melta he brought and just do a lot of damage. So with this list, I knew I had to really stop the AP too. So that spell came in so handy with this matchup. But basically, I tried to just surround his Melta chicks with zombies as fast as possible. Because if he's shooting his Meltas into my zombies, that's a win. So what I did was I got turn 1. I wanted turn 2, so I rolled off. I got a 2, and he got a 1. So I wanted turn 2, but I got turn 1. So turn 1, I spent 2 CP. I got zombies onto the objectives, which I took the Vital Ground. So if I control the 2, you can't get Vital Ground on turn 1, so it has to be turn 2. But I have so much OBSEC unit, I wasn't afraid of that. So I got Stranglehold on turn 1, which is all 3 objectives. I kept everybody else in this building right here. So all my characters, the bodyguard, and I deep struck all the Terminators again. I tried to keep most of my zombies back. I didn't want to like kill all of them because he had a lot of bolter fire. Oh, sorry, he had a tank, the Exorcist tank, that shoots like D6. He has a strat which ignores line of sight, which kind of sucks for me. And then he had the 1 Predator-looking tank, which has like a big gun, heavy bolter, and then 2 side bolters. I don't know what it was called, but it looked like a Predator. So he had 2 of those tanks in the back. He had the Exorcist back here, and he had the other tank in this rubble right here. All the other chicks were just lined up in the middle, and then 1 Melta chick back here, 1 Melta chick back there. So it was kind of like parallel, and they just basically walked across the table. So my turn, his turn 1, he killed a whole unit of zombies out here. He killed a bunch of zombies over here, and that was really it. He killed a bunch of zombies, but I still had 60 zombies left. So he killed a whole unit. So what I did on turn 2 was I spent 3 CP. I brought a unit of zombies all the way in the back here, which his Exorcist was here, so it was 9 inches away. And then I had a 4-man bodyguard unit coming over here. I had a 5-man Terminator unit coming in over here to help the Melta chicks. I had a 5-man Terminator unit plop down right here. So I was 9 inches away from his tank. His tank was like, it wasn't this thing, it was a different one. So his tank was like right here. I had them pop up in the forest. I had 2 units pop in over here. I had a Terminator blob pop in right here. It's almost like the same thing every single mission. Like 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. And then the zombie unit literally just came in over here and then basically charged. So I had a zombie charge. I had a Terminator unit didn't charge, so they failed to charge. These guys failed to charge. these guys got off their charge, and this guy got off the charge. So on turn 2, I was able to tie up his exorcist with zombies, the other tank with terminators, and all these zombies and bodyguard killed all the chicks over here and left 2 Melta girls left. So Constantine, or whatever the flying chick, was remaining in the middle. The main chick was remaining in the middle. She only had 1 wound left after all of the shots went into her, especially the Melta. Like, I think I did 5 damage with the combi Melta. So all that was left over here was 2 Melta chicks, the HQ, and the bodyguard unit died to charges. So all the zombies killed the bodyguard unit and the other chicks, which I forgot that if Poxwalkers kill units, you bring Poxwalkers back. Totally forgot about that. So that was a mistake on my part. But it kind of turned at that point because he didn't even bring in his reserves. He forgot about his reserves because he was just so mentally frustrated that I got all my key charges off. And I had literally 20 Terminators. Wait, 5, 10, 16, 17 Terminators just popping out of nowhere, plus 20 more Poxwalkers. It's kind of crazy. So that was that game. Let's see some of the notes. So game 3 against Marcus. Oh, so the beginning of the game, he denied 3 of my psychic powers on 6s. So I was like, wow, this sucks. So he literally just rolling 6s all day, denied all my psychic powers. His turn 1, he killed a whole unit of zombies off the objective, left 5 on the other charges to finish them off. So basically the sisters up here, finish off this unit, charge, finish off that unit. So basically he killed 2 zombie units turn 1. I spent 3 CP, brought the zombies behind his lines, key charges off. The other 2 zombies were tied up with the Melta chicks. My characters were in the back, protected. By turn 3, I have Celestine, that's her name, the main chick with 1 wound, and deep striking girls and 5 sisters left. So by turn 3, he had 2 HQ, 1 chick only had 1 wound, 1 Melta girl, and 2 deep strike jump pack chicks, which he was supposed to use for rod. So basically he brought them in, rotted 1 turn, rotted the 2nd turn, just to get some points. And it basically just felt like a huge kick in the nuts, especially when you get those you can't do anything. Like when they deep strike in and you left the spot open and they made their 9-inch charge, you just can't really do anything. Like it's just like, all right, cool, thanks. Like it kind of sucked. But 2 out of 6 charges I made, which were the 2 key charges, and so much obsec with the zombies, and they have such good strats. So those are the 3 games. We had 90 points on this game as well. I didn't get the 100 points because they weren't painted, but we had 80, 90, 90. So those are the 3 missions. So let me clear this out for you. Cool. There's so many cool pictures of Death Guard. I found so many cool images to use for battle reports. So I'm going to be doing some battle reports, hopefully, with the Death Guard. But we got the Terminus, won their first RTT, a small RTT, but 8-man, good games, good opponents. So what I learned. -2 AP spell is amazing. Craig is a prime example of that. He'll know. So anytime you put on like an HQ or somebody that has like Dread Knight, right? A Dread Knight now AP 0 weapons. Like it's just such a crazy spell that you can cast from 24 inches away. That is probably my favorite spell to cast now. Zombies threat a lot, especially for 3 CP. You can spend 2 CP to have them move an extra 3 inches, and then they can pile in 6 inches. So basically what you do is you move up 7, or first off, you spend 1 CP to make them. So that's why it's 3 CP. So you spend 1 CP in your command phase if some of them died. You bring back 7 dice on a 3-up, they come back, so then you could string them out. So they string out 2 inches each, and then on the end you triangle it, so that way they're all in coherency. So basically, let's just say you bring back 4, right? So that's 2 3 inches, then 2 more 3 inches, so that's 6 inches away, and then you put 2 more 2 inches away, which is the triangle. So you got 3, 6, 9-inch extra movement plus 7. So 9 plus 7 is 16 inches. And then they can charge, let's say they charge 6 inches. That's 21 inches away, plus they consolidate 6 inches after that. Or they pile in 6 inches and then consolidate 3. Like, that's literally across the table on turn 1 if you don't have turn 1. So that's such a good strat. It's overwhelming when they don't expect it. So let's say they kill, I don't know, 10 zombies turn 1. You bring back 5 of them. So you still have 15 zombies in that unit, 30 attacks if they all get in, rerolling hits, and then mortal wounds on 6s. Like, it's so deviant. Deep striking Termies are a great idea. If you're running this list, I would highly suggest just deep striking everything you have. With 96 zombies on the table, it's very hard to just kill them all on turn 1. So that's why I suggest keeping all your zombies either in cover, behind cover. If you don't have turn 1, just hide them. And then when you do have turn 1, just put them on the objectives and have them deal with them. Playcaster, don't charge them. Have them stay back and just be behind your units the entire game. I charged him the last game. He died against one of the Melta chicks. So don't do that. He's just too good of a unit to get up there. Plague Skull, I forgot to use it twice. It's a very cool relic, but if you forget to use it, it's kind of pointless. And Mortal Wound rerolls are a great combo. So basically on the Man Reapers, the sites, they get double the attacks. So basically you can get 10 attacks on the leader, 8 attacks on the other guys. So if you have a 3-man unit, that's 8, 16, 26 attacks. Like, ridiculous. So 26 attacks, hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s if Typhus is nearby, and then rerolling all wound rolls, but on 6s they do mortal wounds. Sure. So basically you just fish for mortal wounds because you get to reroll all the wounds rolls anyway. So you roll 26 dice, let's say 25 hit, you roll all the wounds. Let's say you get 3 6s, you reroll again, you get 5 more 6s, so it's like 8 mortal wounds plus -1 damage Reapers. So such a good combo. Things I would change is, I already changed it in the list, but I would take out the Scythe relic and add the Plague to do mortal wounds on 6s either way. So that way, if you keep that one person on the table turn 1 and they have turn 1, they move up, you can then walk out of the building and then charge them, and then your one elite guy gives them reroll mortal wounds and mortal wounds on 6s. So basically that one guy has 10 attacks, hitting on 2s, and on 6s with a reroll do 2 mortal wounds. So 10 attacks, hitting on 2s, probably 9 hit, let's say 2 mortal wounds, 2 6s. Let's say you get 3 6s total. Let's just low number because you do have a full reroll. Let's just say 3 mortal wounds, so that's 6 mortal wounds plus plus 9 wounds. So 9 mortal wounds and 9 regular wounds from one guy. I'm gonna try that. Put the Plague Skull in the same dude. All right, so basically that guy can then walk out, do the Plague Skull at the end of the movement within 6 inches, and then charge whatever the hell is living after that. It's good to snipe out characters with that because it's just a target ability. It's not the closest model. So you can target whatever character is near you, or just a unit of really hard killing, Terminators, like Black Templars. Start them on the table if they don't have line of sight. So Tyranids, Guard, another Death Guard army. Like basically the people that ignore line of sight, don't start that unit on the table. If they don't have line of sight, start that 4-man unit on the table and deep strike the other 3-man unit. Just kind of swap them out. Change up Typhus's powers. Typhus didn't really do too much with his powers the whole game. I don't know if I want to make him more of just a defensive power unit or just like a mortal wound target a model within 12 inches, takes mortal wounds. Like, I think I'm going to go more of the Fester discipline next time. So I'm going to test it out on Typhus. And then To the Last isn't too bad if you deep strike in safe spots. So if you take him To the Last, you get it on the 4-man Terminator unit, which if you start them on the table, you got to make sure that they're safe. If you deep strike them, they're more safe. So 2 5-man units of Terminators are To the Last because they're 215 points, and then the 1 4-man unit, which is 250 250 points, 240 points, because I added the extra 20 points for the contagion. But if they deep strike in safe spots, which was what I did, you put them in the back lines to charge like a tank or like a really small Tyranid unit. They're safe, you know, so you're not like charging in front of the whole army and then it's getting blown away. You want to charge them in cover, in a forest, because they ignore it, or behind enemy lines and just charge like a tank or something. So that's kind of like, it's not a bad thing to take with Death Guard if you deep strike in safe spots. And more defensive spells. I forgot Typhus. Basically every game I forgot his stuff, like his warlord traits. At the movement phase, they take 1 mortal wound. In the command phase, I could target somebody within like 6 inches. They take D3 mortal wounds. So I forgot that every single game. And I forgot zombies can make more zombies. Fuck. So if they kill units, models, they bring models back. So that would have brought back so many more models throughout the entire 3 games. So remember that if you're playing Poxwalkers, they can bring back more Poxwalkers. So that was my battle report. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you guys enjoy these tournament battle reports. This wasn't like my other one. Usually I take a lot more pictures, but again, I was going into this one expecting to lose, so I didn't take any pictures. I took 1 picture, first game, that was it. I should have taken more pictures throughout the rounds, like my other reports. But next time I will bring Death Guard, and I need to get them painted, so it's probably going to be Grey Knights next, then Death Guard once they get painted. But I'm going to be doing some battle reports for Death Guard either way. So hopefully this brings in some more people for the channel. This is going to be more a 40k general channel, tournament-like. So a lot of tournament lists. You're going to face a lot of tournament lists. You're going to see a lot of tournament strategies, how to build lists, how to do whatever it is. But we're going to make a Discord. So the Discord link is below. We're going to do a Death Guard channel. So we have Grey Knights and then Death Guard. So I'm going to kind of make sure that everybody is helping each other out. But guys, I appreciate it. Thanks for clicking on the video. If you guys enjoyed it, definitely hit the subscribe, hit the like button, and we will see you in another video soon.